welcome in to the next episode, episode 2 of our Let's Play Humankind series, specifically featuring what I'm calling the Harbor Strat. We are playing as the Phoenicians because if you want to optimize your harbors, the first culture on your list of cultures is going to be the Phoenicians. We'll be goaling, of course, towards our next culture being the Carthaginians, but today we need to focus on empire expansion, and we need to be strategic about that as we're thinking about how to best optimize the harbor strategy. We could start spending all of our influence on claiming different lands that have our good harbor placements, which we certainly will be doing. However, if we fall behind on cities, our influence generation will suffer. And so I think our first play here, after having thought about it over the week, is let's get a second city in and see if there's a really great inland settle for that, where we can still take advantage of being to purchase our harbors in basically for free with a little bit of influence. So that's going to be our first objective. Get a second city up and running, even hopefully in an inland territory, right, that we don't have to put a harbor in, because we want to optimize our use of those harbors through purchasing them through influence when they're still an unconnected territory. So let's see what happens. We're on turn 20. If you want to catch up on episode 1 of this series, the link will be in the description below, and so you can catch up on what happened during our first 20 turns in that first episode. But let's jump into the game and see what we can accomplish today, and if we can get that second city settled as quickly as possible. Here we are. Our capital city is Byblos, and we will be, this was a beautiful inland settle for us, right? So we've got a nice inland settle. That's what we want when we're trying to optimize the harbor strategy, is we wanted an inland settle for our cities, because we don't have to put a harbor in, so we'll never have to build a harbor in this particular case. Reminding you of the strategy, we're looking for any place where we can put 4 harbors around a single land tile, right? So we've got one, boom, right here, single land tile, 4 spots for harbors. So that would be our VOC warehouse. Come down here. We don't have one in this territory. This territory's just got 3, so we don't need to rush that one. Right here, 1, 2, 3, 4 harbors and a VOC. We come right in over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, and a VOC there. Could have done it here too. We can only do it once in a territory. We might do it over here just because this is river, so we might be able to use that for other things rather than take it up with market quarters. So over here might be our better play because our settle's probably going to be like right there in that nook, right? We haven't discovered the rest of our continent to the south yet. And then if we come over to the other side, we don't have one in this territory, but we do up in this territory. So we've got one right here, 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's our VOC. And then there's a sneaky one up here that I didn't actually notice. It was pointed out to me in the comment section, I think, for the video. So please do feel free to comment on the video. I always encourage that. We learn together. If you look at this territory, you'd think, oh, there's no 4 spots. However, the lake creates the 4 spots. So actually, this spot right here, if you put your VOC here, harbor, 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 harbor. And so you can actually get 4 connected here. So here's how we're going to try to optimize this strat. We have this city. It connects to this territory, and this territory, although this is an inland territory, I believe. Yeah, this one is inland, so we don't really care so much about that one. But we get reductions in the cost of influence to put in an outpost if we're connecting to a territory that we're connected with a city, right? So what we'd like to do is find an inland settle that allows us to connect things to our existing city without connecting it to coast. Hopefully that makes sense. So for example, our capital here is inland, and this territory right here is also inland. So if we claim this territory here and attach it to our city, that will connect us to this territory as well. So then this one becomes cheaper. So that one doesn't get us too much, but it also connects us to this one because we're not connected to that one, right? So that one then becomes cheaper, and this one becomes cheaper if we connect this tile, this territory, to our city. Similarly, I think what we want to do is something similar over on this side of the map, which is why we need to get some exploration done in this fog. if there's an inland territory, say this one right here potentially, looks like it might be inland. We have to find out where our south coast is, but we're at the bottom of the map, so it could be, coast could be close. So if this one's inland, right, we could potentially claim that, making this claim cheaper. If there's an inland territory that somehow slithers around down here, we want to know that because that will allow us to make our claims in a much more efficient manner because they would be adjacent to a city, which makes them cheaper to put outposts in, right? So we want to make sure we're optimizing that. So that's going to be what we're going to do. We want to get our exploration in, we want to explore our continent, and then pick very carefully where we're going to put those settles. We're going to save up our influence right now because what we want to do is put a claim in on a territory down here somewhere and then save up and make that a second city. In the game of Humankind, and you'll know this if you've watched me play any of our other series on Humankind or any of the other guides that I've published, I think that getting early cities out is one of the key things to a strong start to a game of Humankind. You could be patient and try to get your territory claims and expand your empire and attach to your capital even, but if you're not getting multiple cities out in a good, timely fashion, that's going to cost you in the long run, and so we really want to pay attention to those city gains that we're going to potentially have. So we got our first city, and we've got our capital running. It's in a kind of from a standpoint of the tiles we're working, it's okay. I'd love to be able to connect this to it to get some river tiles into it. We only have one river tile right now. It's a nice territory. There's a bunch of great resources and things in here that we're going to take advantage of, but we want to make our tile yields a little bit better. So we're hoping to find something down here that also has that to put a second city in. So that's what we're going to go for as we get rolling. Let's roll into our next turn. All right, calendars have been researched. So this is big for us. We now have access to granary and we have access to our artisan quarters. We want to take a look now in our capital because we're building our pottery barns, our pottery workshop, which is good because that's going to increase our influence generation. Influence is king. Early game, influence is king in Humankind. We want influence for days because we got so many things to spend it on in the early game of Humankind. So we're going to get that in for sure. But then we want to start thinking about, are we going to place in our different luxury quarters? Because probably we want to. So let's look at the bonuses we have. We have Sage here. Sage gets us plus food. That would be good. We also have Obsidian, which is going to get us plus production. I think right now, if we look at where we're at, okay, we've got 8 food only extra. We'll get another person and we'll put them into food, right? And so we'll get what we're looking for here. But when that happens, we're still going to start dropping in food. And so we're going to want to get some food in. I have a feeling that we'll want to put this Sage down. Let's take a look at our merchant ability because we can actually power invest to get an extractor in for gold. So what I want to do is I want to compare the power investing to the actual cost of the artisan's quarter itself because I'm interested in what this would take. 7 turns is a huge amount of turns to try to build something early game. That's going to take away a lot of production from us. We're only making 15 production per turn, and that's part of the problem is our city is not a high production city. The Obsidian will help us with that as we get going, but I want to make sure we have the appropriate amount of growth in that city first. So I'd like to put this Sage extractor in if at all possible. So 7 turns is costly from a standpoint of production. It also would cost us 237 gold to buy out one of those extractors right now. So that's pretty spendy. Let's check what our merchant ability would cost to put it in because that might be interesting. Let's see. If we put one of these on, it will cost us 25 influence. So this is an influence cost to gain something. Do we want to spend 25 of our influence that we're carefully saving up to get a Sage extractor? Now, Sage is going to get us stability. It's also going to get us plus 3 food on main plazas and administrative centers. Personally, I think this is very powerful. I really like Sage as a resource, and I think that's what we're going to want. So I think we're going to use our affinity ability here. For 25 influence, we're going to purchase in this Sage to increase the growth, not only in our capital, but also in all of our administrative centers across the land. So all of the outposts that we've put in, we'll be able to enhance as well. I believe that's not until they're connected though, right? Because now they're outposts, they're not administrative centers. So right now we would only be getting the plus 3 on main plaza. And so it's not quite as valuable now because we don't have any connections. I think they're outposts until you connect them and then they become administrative centers. Don't quote me on that because that might not actually be correct potentially. All right, so I think we want that sage extractor, right? Let's take a look at the obsidian. Plus 2% industry would be nice, but 2% is not big right now. Once we get all of these in, that would be a difference maker. So I think we are going to spend the 25 to get this in. I like the extra growth. I like the extra stability, and we have a resource that's available to trade in case we meet someone as well. So let's do that. So we're going to put that in for the 25. Got our first extractor down, and so now we have a luxury resource, and we are generating the value of that into our city, which is nice. Let's go check on this really quick. An event, Blades of the Empire. As your horizons widen, your armies grow in lockstep with your ambitions. Now your military power spread over several regiments. It's time to decide the nature of the soldiers. I don't think we care about this yet. Currently, we're not really at war with anyone. The +1 combat strength, especially early game, can be very helpful, but we don't really need it right now. We're not building units, so we're going to save the influence here and not enact that for now. So let's move on to our armies. Well, our armies, which are basically just scouts at this point. So we're just going to keep this guy on river and explore this way more. Swing it around. We're moving him in chunks because, again, in case like we find a curiosity or something, so that didn't actually explore very much for us, which is unfortunate. I kind of want to cut this guy back inland a little bit, because I really want to explore over here. So we know the coast is here. There's a river here, and it looks like a mountain there. We might want to cut... Mountain goes all the way back here. Ooh, we might want to cut through this way. I'm guessing at the fact that there is a mountain crevice here, and that we can't actually get up until we cross this way. So I think I'd like to just get us on this river. Yeah, there might be a way up right here, but I'm kind of doubting it at this point. Looks like you'd have to go all the way... Oh my gosh, wait, where is the entrance point here? Right here? Looks like you could get up here. I'm not sure, though. That might be cliff wall as well. It's a large cliff wall right there. Interesting. Okay. And then this guy is going to go straight south. And we're actually hunting a mammoth with this group, from what I recall. And this is all one territory, I'm assuming, right? Yeah, this is all part of this land, so that is not an internal territory. So that's just a big coastal territory. All right, let's continue on. Looks good. There's another resource there, and then it looks like there's another. Is that a lake? I think that's actually not a lake. But let's go this way. Okay, maybe it is a lake. Let's find out what we got down here. We got another 3 spot here, another 3 spot here, but no 4 spots that we're seeing in this particular territory yet. Okay. Now, this guy, we were debating putting in an outpost. But again, I think we just explore with him. Let's fog bust up here with him. We'll keep him on river. Oh, perfect. We'll grab that. That's a beautiful one. Always looking for the ones that give us influence at this point in the game. Jump back on river to clear that. And then this guy's basically just going to stay up in these northern kind of territories just to search out curiosities and eventually be able to put in our different outposts up there when we get to that point, right? All right, we have a science to choose. We've just finished our calendar research. I really want to get out to fishing. Because we want access to our haven and we want access to our barame because that will get us in the water. Now, do I really also want horses and access to animal barns? Yes, because that's how I love to play the game. But I think we need to get access to these havens as quickly as possible. So we're going to tech all the way out to fishing. This is not something I would usually do. This is a harbor strat only strategy, in my opinion. Normally, calendar and domestication are my top 2 researches. You might go city defense or carpentry if you're facing imminent war. But I like to get out to writing as quickly as possible because there are fame gains and you start to be able to generate a little extra science when you get out here. Plus, you get that reduction in civic cost, which is big early game, to get optimal use of your different influences, because we don't want to waste influence on civics, but we do have some really key civics early on to be able to do that. So we're going to go straight to fishing, though, specifically because we're running the harbor strat, right? Let's move on to our next turn. And we also get to create our religion here. So we do want a religion, and we may trend towards a holy site relatively early because we want to take the Bountiful Seas one. I can't remember the exact name of it, but when we get there, I'll kind of demonstrate that. All right, so polytheism, +6 faith on main plaza, or shamanism, +2 faith on main plaza and administrative center. So long-term, shamanism will get you better gains at the end of the game. We talked about this repeatedly, but you have to connect 3 territories together, which isn't going to happen for quite some time, and you want faith generation early in the game of Humankind. Until they change the mechanisms for faith, early faith is far, far, far superior to late faith in a game of Humankind. So we're going to take polytheism, get that +6 faith on main plaza right away, rather than the shamanism, which would maybe later on pay off. We want polytheism for now. So we're going to found our religion on polytheism. There we go. And now our religion is off and running as we have hit the population limit for that. I believe you have to have, I think it's something like 20 population. The 20 population? I think it's 20 population in order to kick off your religion. I could be wrong about that, but I'm relatively certain that that is correct. All right, we're going to keep this guy going this way. We want a fog bust up in here. This looks like a nice territory maybe for a city. Yeah, so this one looks landlocked. In fact, we now know, yeah, it is. This territory is landlocked. So that is probably a good city spot. But we want to check in here because I'd love to get one in here as well. Or we can just make an attachment, right? But if we're claiming something far away, oh, and of course there's a curiosity back where we came from. Well, I guess we're going that way, and then we'll come up. I think we can come up here. Cliffs are hard to see when they're on the north face, but I think we can come up here to get this explored. That's probably what our play will be with that particular guy. This guy's on river now, so we're going to keep him exploring. I think I'll keep him on river. And I want to cut inland now. We're going to cut inland for just a little bit, just to explore what we have going on over here. Okay, let's jump onto this.
Follow me.
So this is a coastal territory. This one reaching in is a narrow coastal territory, which is kind of unfortunate because it would have been nice to have an inland territory here, but we'll see. We'll see what's going on in that one. And then these guys are just going to continue to explore this way. We never found that mammoth. The mammoth may have gone away. Mammoths do tend to disappear after a time. All right, so we should be able to grab that curiosity. Okay, so this is just a big lake. Okay, so that creates some interesting thoughts. So we got, that's a 3. That's a 3, but then we also have a 3 right here, and that's on the ocean, so that's probably going to be our better bet. But we'll pay attention to this. That would have been really nice if this would have been in one of the inland territories, because a lake on a coastal territory doesn't help us get extra harbors in. Would have been really nice if this lake would have been inland in one of the inland territories, but what can you do? What can you do? All right, so these guys are now just in exploration mode. We could probably send them all the way up to the tip of the coast over here, which would probably be kind of a good plan. So we'll just get them moving in that direction, and we'll, of course, be looking for curiosities along the way. All right. Our holy site... We're on buyout. Our holy site will cost us 26 turns to put in. I don't think I'm ready to invest 26 turns in our holy site. We do have our extra person, so I am going to do my classic strat, which is I go food and then industry with population, then I jump into food again to maximize growth, and we'll probably cap out food and industry before we start shifting people over into money and science. And so that's how I typically like to play the start of a game. We are not teching into horses, and so getting a granary in might be a really good idea. However, we may want to get a farmer's quarter in early because a farmer's quarter will start to help us a lot. We could also talk about doing an artisan's quarter, but I think for the sake of this, I think we want to get our a farmer's quarter out because we just want to get farmer's quarters started. This is definitely the direction we want to take our farmer's quarters in this particular territory because we're gonna build out over here. It's not a great farmable land, but I think that this will be that +8 is not great either. But I think that we can enhance that later on. So let's get a farmer's quarter down because you get bonuses on granaries and different things for farmer's quarter. So we'll build a farmer's quarter to get things kickstarted, and then we'll kind of go from there. I think that will be a good play for us. Again, we're saving up influence. Our influence is going up pretty rapidly. Carpentry has been researched, and so now we're 11 turns away from harbors, which we're going to get access to harbors very quickly. We're going to cut up here because I think we must. That is a bear, it looked like. Or 2 bears even, so that's a little dangerous. We have that looked like a double bear, which might be problematic for us. All right, let's continue on river. Oh, there's a cliff. Okay, but that's fine because we already know. So border here, this territory is a coastal territory. It's this whole thing here. That's a big territory right here. This one is coastal as well, and it looks like I don't know what's going on with this one, but if this one is non-coastal, that might be our city placement for this side of the map. So let's go down, actually, and see what we can find out about this land right here. It looks like it might be coastal. That looks like water down there. And it looks like this territory here spins off down into the water. So I guess we might be looking at... Well, that one's coastal as well. Although this one is kind of a... This one is not a great coastal, this one right here. Because it's only got a couple spots. We're not going to get a great VOC warehouse in this one. Plus there's a lake. And then... So we might be looking at here. Or potentially something in here. We're not going to get one over on the far side of the map, which is a little frustrating. But we'll keep exploring before we try to put something down.
Let's go.
All right, these guys. This lake is really fascinating. It's a really kind of interesting lake. All right, we'll explore those guys, and then our northernmost guys. We had this to go grab, and then we'll go up to the top because we didn't actually get that fully explored. We're just gonna kind of rotate this guy in a circle, picking up any curiosities, because he's really got nothing better to do. Once we, in 9 turns, once we get access to our Bear Maze, these guys can get in the water very early. And so we might get him in the water to go explore some interesting island claims, potentially. Okay, I like to do the urgent affairs, the events and stuff first, in case that gets me something that changes my mind about the rest of what I do on the turn. Okay, herds and heirlooms, nomadism, but now we're living in the same places. Okay. A clear system of inheritance. So we can overlook these affairs of private matters. That puts us down the faith path. We're not going to do that, because faith is just not that critical in the game of Humankind at this point in the game, particularly. Every child receives equal distribution moves us towards collectivism or privilege, in which moves us towards the individualism axis. Let me just do a quick check. So if we move towards... if we move towards individualism, that is our money, and that's where we want to go for this game. So we're going to just make choices based off of that. We're trying to go for a ridiculous money game, so we're going to try to move ourselves towards the individualism side of things, and so that is going to be what we take to scoot this, because that's the only ramification of our decision here is just movement along our social axes. So we're going to make our decision based off of that. And now we're off and running. We're going to get this guy up here. Let's move in little chunks. We do want to come off river. And again, we're going to kind of watch out for that bear that was up here that might cause us some problems. So again, we know that this one is inland. So we could place a city on this one. But I'm wondering if... yeah, I don't think so. If the coast is right here, this one is going to... I think this is going to be our city. Our city down here. It's going to be this one. And so we're going to have to start planning out. I'd like to get 3 cities, I think, on this particular spot. And so we have to start thinking about which ones are going to be our cities. This might be a city, and actually this right next to it might be a city. That might be the way we go, because then we can connect off of those. This city is going to have to take all these connections, it looks like. This city can take connections through the middle, and then the capital can take connections up through the top, possibly into some islands, right? We got to take islands into play as we're thinking about this as well. Okay, I think we have to go grab this.
It's one of those moments that make you feel like a small thing on a wondrous planet.
Okay, so does this change? Okay, so we've got to remember there's a curiosity here. Roraima is worth stability, influence, and industry per workers on city or outpost, which is not bad at all. Roraima is a gorgeous wonder in this game, and also is very useful. So the question becomes... This is definitely a coastal tile, it looks like. If it's not, then we claim this and make it a city right away. But I kind of doubt that it's going to be... It's really nice looking, though. I wonder if we break our rules and actually... Oh, look, if this is a border here, let's jump around. I don't want to lose that. So that curiosity we need to remember to come back around to. Okay, so we got coast coming down this way. So it's all... This is coast, though. So this is going to be coast probably right below it. We'll find out soon enough, I suppose. Let's just do some further fog busting. I want to bust everything here. This is a group of 2, so we can also go and do a little bit of, like, hunting with these guys if we find anything worth fighting over. Just, like, animals and things. We're not going to fight any free peoples with that. We do have to start watching out for free peoples as well.
Come over here.
Nice. Let's just go all the way up here. Get us good viewpoint. We'll be able to collect that on the next turn. Okay. And let's check our capital, because we have 3 people. We're getting another one in in how many turns? One's growth, 3 turns? We want to make sure that next guy goes into industry. Ah, that is now problematic. So here are and not only is it a free peoples, but it is also an aggressive free peoples, and we do not have the units to fight against these guys right now. So we may want to start raising an army potentially to deal with this. Now, if they put an outpost down, we can start investing in them and get them so that they will not hurt us. But that has to be, I believe, they have to put that down as a city first. So let's see if they come down and cause us any trouble. They could indeed cause us some trouble if they came down towards our city at this point. So we'll see what happens. That is always a bummer when an aggressive free peoples is the first one that you see. All right, so this is all coast around here. I'm gonna come back and explore that later.
Off we go.
Ah, there's the coast for Roraima. Yeah, so Roraima, probably, I don't want that to be a city, which is unfortunate. Not right now, anyway, because we've got, ooh, that one? No, that one's it's water. So again, it's going to be a 3 spot here, so there's a 3 spot there. Unfortunate. Unfortunate. That could be a 4. Let's go check on that. That looks like it will be a 4. As long as we can build on that, I think we do. I think we do have that capability. We'll pop in here really quick. I'd like to see what this is, so I'm going to go all the way out to here, and then we'll pop back out. Okay, so we do have some this or this. As long as we can build on the reefs, which I think we can. We've got another area with 4 potentially here. This looks promising as well. So there could be several spots for 4 here. A fight going down? Oh, that guy, the guy must have found the bear. All right, and we'll just send this guy up in this direction.
Come over here.
Oh, coast actually sticks out even a little further there. Interesting. We'll send him all the way to the top. And we'll assume this is the bear. It's 2 bears, and so I don't think that is going to be a victory for us. We also have, yeah, we have bad ground to fight from. It's low ground from here, and so that's a loss for us. So we're just going to pull a retreat. And maybe these 2 guys can come up and maybe try to fight that battle. But we do know... we have 209 influence. We do know that this is probably going to be our city down here. Let's wait just a moment. Try to get some exploration in. I want to keep an eye on this free peoples. Are they actually going to come after my city? Where are they going? Where are you going?
Over this way.
All right, so we're just going to go. We're just going to go grab this.
Off we go.
These guys are going to get a little more exploring done and then maybe head north. Uh-oh. That guy's now cornered. So we now have to fight, though that guy's probably going to die. That's unfortunate. So we're going to have to get these guys up there to make that claim then and probably deal with those bears.
Follow me.
That is highly unfortunate. All right, we're going to peek all the way up, see what we can see. That's unfortunately not connected right there. That's kind of a bummer to not be able to connect up to whatever this is with this territory. So that's a gap we'll have to try to fill. This is connected. Oh, and we can see border now. So we do have a neighbor. We do have a neighbor right over here. And in fact, we probably want to meet that neighbor as soon as possible to start trade with them. Because trade is going to be very valuable to us. And so all of this is now being claimed. So we know that this is not islands out here. This has to be another continent. And so we won't have any extra claims on this side of things. This might be an island or the south part of that continent. I can't tell. I would bet that because it's this incense is here, I would bet that this is an island that's meant to be kind of connected to this territory. Just because that's typically what we would see. Okay. So this guy's going to come back down over here because I think, I mean, all of these are great placements for us, but this is going to be a relatively cheap one to be able to get our stuff in. We're looking for, again, those 4 spots. And so we're going to continue on with that. All right, this guy is now in a completely stuck position. There's no high ground advantage. And in fact, the bear can only attack 1 at a time here. So we might be able to survive this potentially. I'm not sure. Let's see. We're going to defend every time. That's why I decided to do manual. So we're just going to force the bear to attack us. I think between the 2 bears, our guy's going to die. We're going to kill 1 bear. We can't reinforce the battle because we don't have that tech. if this bear dies and we can take high ground, maybe? Man, look at that spot we retreated to. Right on the cliff. It's a bad spot to be pinned down by 2 bears. Oh, I didn't even get to move. Wait, where did that bear go? Did that bear just attack from down here somewhere? I don't think there's a... That looks like cliff to me. I don't think we win this, right? We could... Maybe we could have won if we could have taken this spot, but they moved the bear onto it right away. Okay, we just end around. Should be dead there, yeah. All right, so we lost one of our scout units to that bear, but that other bear is damaged, so it's fine. We'll deal with it. This is okay. So yeah, here's our, and yeah, multiple 4 spots in this territory as well. So that's nice.
Let's go.
And do we go this way or this way? Let's go this way.
Follow me.
On the river. This guy is obviously going to do that. Hey, hold on. Don't do whatever I told you.
Over this way.
We get some good exploration out of this. These guys are going to cut around there, so this guy can pretty much just head up in this direction. And we will have explored all of our continent. And so let's look at borders. Yes, so we need to get back up. So these 2 units are going to go fight that bear and put our city in. This is our city spot right here. And then unfortunately, that's not going to connect to anything over here. So these are just all going to be expensive inns for us. Unless we do this one, because it doesn't have very many harbors to put in. We could put the city here. That's something to think about. Because if we put the city here, that gets us cheap ads to everything. Gets us cheap ads here, 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 here. It gets us cheap ads on everything because of this little jut. That might be the play. We might put the city here, even though it is coastal, just because there's not a lot of harbors to be placed here. We could always put these in late, we could do it even like a Bandari or something. We might even, yeah, I think that might be the play. I think we put our city here. So maybe this guy can go do that while this guy goes and deals with these guys. I like the idea of city here for attachment purposes, because if we do here, what is the cheapest stuff we're getting? I mean, our capital's connected to this already. It's connected to this already. That's already claimed, so we get what? 1, 2, 3 cheaper claims? It's only 3 cheaper claims that we get over there, whereas we put this one in, we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cheaper claims. Yeah, so that's definitely worth. That is definitely worth it. All right, we're just gonna bring this guy down. I think we could just move all at once. I don't think we're gonna see any things there. Oh, did we get our? Where's our science at? Did we get our science unlocked already? I think we can actually start buying in our harbors, our havens already. Dang, okay. The question is, should we train up some archers to deal with the free peoples that are roaming around, just in case they start to do anything negative towards us? I don't think so right now. I think probably want to try to increase something or start working on our obelisk, because we do want a religion. Decisions. We also have 363 gold, so we could buy something out. Here's the thing. I actually don't want my holy site here, do I? Well, maybe I do. Technically, I'd probably put my holy site here because I know that it borders this territory. And so, but I'm not going to connect that territory in for quite some time, so we're just going to have to put our holy site in this land, I believe. I don't see any other way around it. I like something out here maybe as my holy site. There's a river down there that we can connect to, so something out here is probably decent for our holy site. Actually, tucked in the mountains here. I mean, unfortunately, that's a great spot for a... Yeah, I think we have to go off mountain here. This is a really nice spot for a industry quarter if we connect this territory in. So I think that will probably become an industry quarter. So I'm going to put our holy site just off that. It would look cool tucked in the corner. But not going to I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to put it down here just to get it down in this territory. Like, we're going to build this early. That's a very early build. I'm going to debate myself over whether I continue building that, so we'll see how that goes. I'm also debating whether we should just put in a lumberyard or even just a maker's quarter. A maker's quarter would increase our pop cap as well. But we're not suffering from pop cap, so we'll put some turns into the obelisk and we'll see how that goes. Okay, so we did get our fishing already. So we got fishing already. I'm going to go ahead and throw domestication down, and then we're going to go straight into writing probably, but I'll take that cheap domestication really quickly. We're also keeping an eye on those free peoples, because, again, aggressive free peoples, we don't know where they're going to go. Okay, they set this one down. That's fine. That's an inland tile. So we can let them do that, and we can just invest in them. I don't think that was going to be a city for us, right? That wouldn't be a city for us, so we're probably just going to absorb that or destroy it at some point. Although we could make it a city. I'm not opposed to making that a city. It would have been really nice if they would have gone one further down and put this city in for us. We're also going to keep an eye on it, just in case. Or we should grab a unit. I wonder if this unit should come down and just kind of peek on this, just to see if we can snag it for free. That almost never happens anymore, but that used to be a thing that would happen a substantial amount, is you could actually... Oh my gosh, look at this cliff wall. How are we going to get to our claim? I guess... Oh my gosh, we have to go all the way around? Unless we can get up right here.
Follow me.
Wow. This is some cliff. Right here is an entrance point that would cross us over. Or otherwise, we have to go all the way around. Oh, wow. Well, these guys are actually going to be following each other as we bring it around this way. Might want to put the outpost in with this guy because it'll go in faster. So we might cut around with that guy first. In fact, maybe this guy should even just go... Well, we can fog bust with him and cut him back across the side. All right, this guy is looking for stuff to claim. Oh, we can get him in the water now. That guy probably should get in the water. All right, domestication has been researched. Got a science star already, which is really nice. And, oh, perfect. The bear came to fight our units. Yeah, let's manual battle this. Let's try to make the bear come down to us. Do we have any land that would be... Man, this is all... I mean, we're going to take damage here regardless, right? That's a better spot. I mean, we're going to win the fight, so we'll just end it. Let the bear attack us. Move this guy up for support. And we'll just defend off. Attack. Take victory. The 10 gold. It's almost not worth fighting those units at this point, but... Okay. We can cross right here. Oh, there is a crossing point right here. Okay, so this guy can cross over and actually get the claim in probably pretty quick. So these guys can actually kind of do whatever. We ship these guys up north, maybe. Try to see what's going on over there. I mean, they lose any fight they do, and I don't want to lose the units, so we have to pay attention to that as we're going. But I think... I want to get this guy in the water, but I don't need to get him in the... Well, actually, yeah, I do want to meet people, so let's just keep him... Let's move him over here. We can get him in the water and go see who's over there. Brown, I believe, will be the burly gamer? No, I think that's Sarge, maybe? I'm not sure. Fate of the free cities. This world, as it ever was, is divided by the rulers of the ruled. Great sprawling empires around independent cities. You struggle with other empires, but you should not forget the part these free cities can play. So we have met free peoples. Minus 50% higher army cost. Minus 50% cost of signing treaties with independent people. This actually is very potent. I want to enact this. I'm going to enact it early because as we're trying to sign treaties, we want this to be cheaper to do. This is a really nice... like I used to not care about this so much, and then when the changes were made to the free peoples, this is really nice because signing treaties costs influence, and influence is very valuable. So for only 35 influence to be able to have a minus 50% cost reduction on those signings, very powerful. Plus, I like getting the food over here. That's the way I want to go. So we're going to enact this right away. They may have
more to offer than just their weapons. Assimilation does seem practical.
It does. And so if we cannot wage war here, we'll be able to just invest and get a bunch of bonuses, including things like science per turn, which is very valuable. Okay, we got domestication. We're going to tech straight to writing. I doubt that we get to writing first at this point, but let's do it just in case. And then we'll see if we can get there. Sacred ground has been unlocked by another empire. Somebody built a holy site already? Wow, somebody prioritized holy sites like mad. That's a vast holy site. Game of prophecy. All right, we got this. Right, this is the game. There's a game that causes prophecy if you play. So we can silence the guy. We don't really want that. We don't want to spend 80 gold either. We can take a 5 stability penalty, which actually we could afford right now. That moves us on the axis probably to where we want to go. Or we can heed, but we get -2 science. So I think that we just overlook. We're just going to take the penalty here. 10 turns of... well, let's check. Just to be sure. Yeah, we could easily afford the penalty there. So we'll go ahead and overlook that. It will soon be proved false. Hopefully. Alright, so this guy's going to go make our claim on this land. Now, we need to find where our claim... Oh, that's another bear, which is not fun. We're going to grab this. These guys are going to come over here. I want them to grab that. We're going to ignore the bear, I guess, for right now. And our claim in this land is going to be on river. Probably... Where are we going to make this claim? Here or here? Probably here or here. Or up here. Or right where we're standing. This gets us more river tiles if we go over here, but there's not a lot of production on that spot. If we go here, we have a 13... 13.6. See, that's a 19.4. The production's just not there. This gets us a 16.6. And also, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 river tiles. This one gets us 1, 2, 3, 4 river tiles. This one also gets us 4 river tiles. So it's 4 river tiles either way. 16.6, 19.4. The 19.4 is really tempting. And then over here, we would get 3 river tiles with the potential for a 4th later on. Oh, what about right here, actually? It's a 14.8. 14.8, so it just trades the food for production. Puts us really far away from our harbor. We can build off the harbor over there. And 14.8 is a really nice starting tile with some decent balance. And we can connect it in, so it's 4 river tiles. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then an additional tile down here for a 5th. Which is actually probably our best placement. So I think we can actually get it down right now. Make sure that's still the right territory, right? Yeah, that's the one we want. Yeah. Alright, let's do the 14.8. Let's do that, because this does count as river, right? Yeah. I like that spot. Hopefully the bear does not cause us problems. This guy's gonna jump into the water. Again, so valuable. We're playing the Phoenicians, and we can get in the water with the most powerful naval unit in the game right now, and we're the only people who could be in the water. The Phoenicians, for that alone, become a very potent culture to play. Verba Volant Scripta. So I believe that's the writing one, right? Yeah, so writing now has been discovered. So we actually don't need to push that anymore if we don't want to. It's still valuable. Let's take a look at what else we could grab. I still like the access to this civics and also the House of Scribes potentially. Food market could be good potentially, and it gets us access to our market quarter. So I think we still want to trend in that direction. Again, city defense could be nice and get access to those warriors, but I feel like we won't have to fight. Maybe. We're going to watch this spot and where their guys are going. We're trying to keep our units kind of away from that right now. This guy could go burn the lair down, although that probably will raise the attraction of the bear. And we'll be on a bad fighting tile potentially as well, but let's see what happens. There's 60 more gold. We now have a bunch of gold. Oh, can we use our extractor again as well? Let's use our extractor again. We actually can extract a bunch of different things potentially. So we can get science. We can get extra gold. What else could we snag in any of the territories that we have just claimed? This one doesn't have any resources, but neither did our other one. So I think we just take obsidian. We'll just use the extractor again on obsidian. +3 science is a pretty nice boost. We can grab that soonish. Let's get the... Oh, wait. Can we get the horse extractor in? Can we use this to extract horses? We can. Oh, but we don't have... The horses are not useful to us yet. All right, let's build this obsidian extractor. Oh, I didn't even check how much that costed. Was that... How much did that cost, Chad? Oh, no! Ah! I didn't look. I think it was still 35. I don't know if the cost scales. Cost might scale. It was probably more expensive. We're going to go meet somebody, and that way we'll have more to trade as well. All right. He's in the water. All right. Let's get a couple more turns in. Successful ransack, so that's going to get us some gold. And the bear has, in fact, come out to fight. And so now we have to pick... Wait. I think we can defend this off, but not on a bad tile. And unfortunately, all of this is just the worst. So I think we'll just retreat for now. I think we just retreat this. Because I don't want... We're going to defend off on either river tiles with low... we have river or low ground. Either way we go. Which is just kind of suck. So... let's open this, and we'll just press the retreat button. We'll come back around and get rid of that bear at some other time. With a big... Well, we can even fight him with one... You can fight a bear with one unit. You just want favorable terrain when you're doing it. These guys could come back around, but I feel more inclined to just keep exploring with them. The bear is not... I'm not overly concerned by the bear. Can we enter this land? I'd like to... Let's see if we can... What's our more likely spot to meet him? Probably this way. Alright. How's our capital doing on pop? We'll probably need to move our pop around, right? Okay. Let's do a little switch. Keep it growing as quickly as possible. We have 13 turns left, but we just edited... Yeah, so 13 turns because we're stacking industry, which is nice. And then we can actually... We can buy out an extractor right now if we wanted to. We'd actually buy out a district. I like the idea of this. We want to spend our gold wisely, but I think buying out an extractor is probably a very good idea. We're going to have to build all of these in anyway. Want access to horses. Could get animal barns in. +5 food per horses. How many horses do we have on our continent? Is it just the one? It is just the one, as we can see now. So that's not great. So the horses are not so critical then. The animal barns are going to be less valuable to us than they might otherwise be. Let's spend some of our gold on another extractor. I like that idea. We'll put this one in. We'll gold buy that. Might as well get the yields out of it, right? This guy moving. I'd like to go fog bust a little, but we gotta go down here anyway. So let's cut south again. See if we find any shinies pick up. All right, come on, let's meet somebody. Early meeting somebody is gonna be very handy for us. Oh, the bear has now pinned this guy down, but we now have equal advantage. We have to fight this anyway, so I think we actually move to here. Because if the bear makes a mistake and fights off of river, because that's not a river tile, right? That's just forest. This is forest river. If we move here and the bear is dumb and crosses into the forest, that would... Oh, wait, but is this river 2? Oh, that's river 2. So never mind. So yeah, we're right where we want to be. We want to be here. Oh, is this one river 2? That's also river. Crap. Which, in that case, we 100% take this tile then, right? If he goes after that, that's fine. This way, he at least has to attack off river, so the balance is equal. If we defend, we might win this. Maybe. Yeah, I think we'll take this because we ended up with him attacking off river. Okay. Did the bear die because of that? darkest depths, miners, prospective miners, and their kin from Byblos are afraid. Ancient traditions are strong, and they believe that they have seen something in a cave. We could dismiss it. Minus stability and plus industry. That gets us down the science tree. We can get plus stability and investigate it. Investigation is definitely good. We can take this, though. This has a chance of unexpected consequences. We're not going to embrace it, because we don't need this. The plus 10 stability is not so important. I actually think going down this science line and actually grabbing... Let's check our stability really quick. I think we've got really nice stability. We can definitely afford... We can afford to take the dismiss. We're going to dismiss it and just take the extra industry here. I don't normally do that. I usually investigate, but I think we'll do it that way. We're going to get our holy site out much faster. Okay, people are discovering wonders, and we have growth across our empire. Right, so this guy is really just able to explore now at this point. Oh, can we? Is this ready to become a city? Yeah, we can city this. Could we have citied that last turn? Hopefully not. Before we city it, let's not do anything foolish. Before we city it, we're gonna put a haven in. I think we might as well haven, right? We haven into this, and then we make it a city. We should have enough to do both. Yeah, we have enough to do both. We're gonna haven in. This is the key strat, right, that we definitely want to take advantage of. Let's read the haven text really quick, because there might be a better one to put. +2 money per adjacent coastal water and lake. It doesn't have bonuses for being adjacent. Well, it counts as a market quarter, so I guess it would. I'm going to put the haven out here on the chance that having market quarters adjacent to another one of our harbors, I believe, is going to be more potent for us. So I'm going to put the haven... I'm going to put the haven over here. All things being equal. We're going to put the haven here.
The first visible mark of this new culture. I hope the style is pleasing, because it will be around for as long as the city lasts.
And then we're going to city this guy. Citied. We can actually go straight into putting turns into the obelisk, which I'm not opposed to. That's extra 9 industry. But what's that going to do? Does it cut it by a turn? Cuts it by a turn. That's not going to be worth it, I don't think, to cut by a turn. So let's just put the pottery workshop in. We want to enhance our influence generation as much as possible. We'll get that in, and this guy can go bog rust. Oh, that bear's over there. No. That's fine.
Come over here.
We'll just keep going straight. Yeah, that's not going to be useful to us. And let's see what happens over here. I'm assuming this is the end of our continent, but actually, that's an assumption on my part. Come on. Who are you? I would like to meet you. What is this little inlet right here? Wow. All right. Let's do one more turn. One final turn will get us over to turn 35. Let's... We can meet... Oh, what is this? What is going on here? It's a little jut. It's got to connect. Because he can't be in the water yet. Alright, we'll go up and about. Oh, and of course it's down there. This is kind of a rich land. It's a rich and beautiful land. Just send that guy that direction.
Over this way.
And
let's go.
Let's move this way. This is a 3 spot here and a 3 spot there. It's unfortunate that there wasn't a 4th right there. We could go explore this island with these guys. Because we got nothing else really to do here. So we might just pop off onto this island here. Just to see what we can see. Struggle for debating. The capital is the Empire's true seat of power, but now other cities with energetic populaces rise to prominence. Their leaders and influential figures want sway over the Empire's affairs. Right, so let's check out leadership. +1 city cap. This costs quite a bit, so let's look at our city cap currently. We don't have to have this right now, and we're not probably putting it... Oh, this place is also up and running, so that's problematic for us. They have 2 pop already even. And so we want to invest in them as much as possible. So that's what we're going to spend our influence on instead. We're at city cap, so we don't need to go... We don't need that yet. We will need that as soon as we decide to go over our city cap. We'll want to get that back. But we want to click on these guys. We're going to spend the 45. Again, we have a 50% reduction on this, which is really nice. So we are going to spend this. and establish
You've
contact.
signed your first treaty
And
with
then-
an independent people.
I think we're
One
going to
more
spend...
step on the road to cooperation.
I think we just spend everything on this for a few turns. I know this is going to hurt in both perspectives, but I think we spend everything at least to get here. We'll get the science collaboration active, and that will keep them from attacking us. An aggressive free peoples will attack you until you sign the first level treaty. So we have to get to 20, so that's 6 per turn. So we'll probably reduce it. We'll go for 3 turns to get to 18, and then we'll reduce it down and just take the 2 to get to the 20. I think my math works out there, and so that we get those, we get that treaty signed, so we don't have to fight them. And we might just end up assimilating these guys into the capital, or maybe we leave that as one of our cities. It's a fully inland settle, so if they build something out for us, I mean, that's great. We might just leave that as one of our cities, right? It's entirely possible that we just grab that as our city. I don't mind that idea at all. Okay, that is going to be it for this episode. I think we accomplished what we wanted to. We got our city settle in. The city is in. We've got free peoples that we're dealing with, and I think we've identified... We'll have to go through them again just to be sure. I think we've identified all of our spots for our havens. Now, we also could be putting our havens in right now because we can put them in with influence. I want to make sure we get our claims in. We want to get claims and things in. Let's get the claims in because that's going to keep more free people from causing shenanigans. So we want to, next time, what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to ID all of our 4 spots, which I think there are at least 3 or 4 more of those spots. And so we're going to want to ID those. We got 1 here, 1 here. We already know that. We have another one down here. And then that might be... Oh, and then right here, right? So those are all of our current 4 spots. So we've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 at least. We'll have to go through again. But I think we've got 4 claims to make in order to get all of our 4 spots down, which we then want to put havens on, right? Because we have to get havens on there to take advantage of the 4s. So we have those claims and then all of those harbors, the havens to put in. And then we actually want to jump out onto islands because those are going to be our other spots where we could get the most value out of our 4 harbors. Because there are going to be 4 harbor spots on islands as well, which is going to be great. So that is what we'll be doing next time. Thank you for tuning in to this episode. I'm really excited about showing off the rest of this strat. I think that this is going to go really well. So far, having an aggressive free peoples hasn't hurt us, but we do have about 3 or 4 turns, 4 turns exactly probably, where they could cause problems and attack us before we get that first level treaty. And so we'll see how that goes. I think from an influence generation standpoint, we're doing pretty well. And in fact, if we could swing that city to our cause, we could actually get our 3rd city probably online pretty quick. Actually, it'd probably be our 3rd and 4th city really quick. We want to try to get that 3rd city in pretty quickly as well, probably using our own influence and then take their city as maybe a 4th. I don't think we need 4 cities on our continent, but we'll see. We might just do it anyway for the sake of influence generation. If you liked the content, be sure to thumbs up the video. If you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I do release videos every Sunday about morning, midday, depending on your time zone. And so we'll have the next episode of this come out next week. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week.